occasion, I really enjoy the people that I play with, but on occasion, I will say things like, what was that?
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's, with any luck, that's about the way I'll say it. I've got people here that can attest that doesn't always happen, but really, when you're playing bridge, there are rules, there are guidelines. I could call this the guideline of 20. Okay? Now I'm going to show you why the guideline of 20 isn't good and why the rule of 22 came into being. All right, how many high card points?
10.
10. How many cards in my two longest suits?
10.
10. So according to the rule of 20, this is opening hand. Because this hand is above average in its ability to take tricks. That's why we open hands. They're above average in their ability to take tricks. Anybody consider this hand above average in its ability to take tricks?
It's got problems.
It's got problems. It's got, excuse me, it's got long suits that are not beefy. It has short suits that are headed by honor cards. I have a singleton king of diamonds. Is the king of diamonds going to take a trick? It may. Okay, on good days, your partner has the ace. On really good days, your partner has the ace and the queen. Okay, so I'm not saying that the king of diamonds will not take a trick, but it's not as likely to take a trick as if that were the king of hearts. Okay? So, about 20 minutes after the rule of 20 came out, and people were saying, great, I love rules. I'm learning to play bridge. When you're learning to play bridge, do you like rules? I like rules. If I do this, I will be doing what other people who know how to play bridge do. Is that a good goal to have? It really is. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to like this. I played bridge. I used to play bridge. I need to play bridge some more. With a wonderful woman, has about 8,000 master points. My goal when I play with this woman, or when I used to play with this woman, was, boy, I hope I play well enough that Dale will play with me again. Seriously. I hope I play well enough that she will ask me to play again. Any of y'all ever have that thought? I'm playing with somebody who plays really well, and I really enjoy playing with them. Boy, I hope I don't foul this up. Just don't do anything stupid. Seriously. Does anybody wonder whether I occasionally have that thought still? Yeah, a little, just a little. It fleets, okay? But yeah, I get invited to play. Boy, I hope we have a good time. I hope we get to play again. And things that will prevent us from playing again is just forgetting how to play bridge when you're at the bridge table. Now, this woman I'm talking about, named Dale, has about 8,000 master points. Okay? Dale would open this hand the same way that you would open this hand. Is this an opening hand? You betcha. How many high card points? 12 high card points. Okay? Dale would look at this hand and say, this is an opening hand. Okay? And when Dale looked at this hand, she would open this hand one spade. Okay? There are minor nuances. I might open hands that Ron wouldn't open. Ron might open hands that Steve wouldn't open, but by and large, most of the decisions on is this an opening hand are pretty cut and dry. So, this is not an opening hand. This hand hand is not above average in its ability to take tricks. And when I say this is not an opening hand, who gets to decide whether this is an opening hand?
You.
The person who has the chance to open it. Hands like this get opened on occasion because the person who picked them up decided that this hand is worthy of an opening bid. I digress. Rule of 22. Okay. Rule of 22 is high card points, 2 suits, quick tricks. Okay. Quick tricks are holdings that will take tricks, that will tend to take tricks, whether you're on offense or defense, whether you're in a suit contract or in a no trump contract. Quick tricks are thus. Ace king equals 2, and this is in the same suit. Okay? Ace king is 2, ace queen is 1.5. Ace equals 1, king queen equals 1, and king x equals 1/2. Rule of 22. High card points, number of cards in your 2 longest suits, and quick tricks. And again, if you get to 12, once you get to 12 high card points, you don't have to worry about the rule of 22 because you have an opening hand. 12 high card points equals an opening hand except for one exception. I will use the rule of 20 for one thing. Actually, it's still the rule of 22. If I have a hand with this shape, how many high card points? I have 12. How many cards in my 2 longest suits? Got 7. Okay, I'm ultra balanced. I've got a 4-card suit and 3 3-card suits. We call these 4x3s. And how many quick tricks do I have? Actually, I have 2. Now, this isn't a bad bridge hand. This hand is likely above average in its ability to take tricks. This hand just is not enough above average that I feel like opening it. That being said, is there anybody who would open this hand? Yeah, some of you will open this hand, and that's what makes this a fun game. Can bad things happen by opening this hand? They could. Can bad things happen if you don't open this hand? Yes. Okay, you just never know. Okay, so you set up a rule and you say, I've made this decision. This is what I'm going to do. Boy, I hope this works. Okay? Your bid should be followed by the same 5 words. Boy, I hope this works. How bad can this be? At least we weren't dull. Any number of 5 words you can add. Okay? Does this make some sense? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I don't see how you get 2 quick tricks.
I've got an ace.
Yeah.
Ace is 1. I've got 2 kings, and both of those kings are a half.
Even though they're not covered. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and when I think of this holding, king X, I've got the king X. Is this king going to take a trick? Maybe. In theory, about 2/3 of the time, this king's going to take a trick. Because 1/3 of the time, my partner's going to have the ace. Okay? 1/3 of the time, the guy on my right's going to have the ace. Okay, so I get to the board, I lead small, and if this person plays the ace, my king takes a trick. If this person doesn't play the ace, then I play the king, and the king takes a trick. Okay, so when I have a king X, I'm going to take a trick with that, usually about 2/3 of the time, but for the purposes of quick and dirty quick tricks, we count it as a half. Yes, ma'am?
Don't you think with this hand, you are giving wrong signal to the partner because he probably will think you have 5 cards in spade.
Nope.
And actually only 4.
And
How does he know that you are opening rule of 20?
Well, and we will get to rebids next week, but I'm going to give you we have haven't gotten there yet. As far as when I open a hand, this is what I have. Would y'all like to skip to the end? Would you like for me to summarize today's lesson for you? Okay. I'm going to anyway.
Sit here.
Okay. 99% of the hands that you have are going to be open at the 1 level. There's only 3 ways to open a hand at the 1 level.
Yes, but can
You got your 1 of a major.
Right, I'm sorry.
Okay, 1 of a major. Partner, I have 5 cards in this suit. You got your 1 no trump. Says I'm balanced. I've got 15 to 17 points, or whatever designation you want to have on high card points for opening a no trump. If you can't open a major, you can't open no trump, you open a minor. So if I were to open this hand, I don't have a 5 card major, so I'd open with a minor. And when I open with a minor, I'm saying, partner, I have an above average hand, couldn't open a major, couldn't open a no trump. Okay, that's my first description of this hand. I will clarify what the nature of my hand is on my next bid. Okay, so don't worry that if you're opening the bidding, you're going to give your partner an incorrect impression of your hand, because opening the bid is just the first sentence you say. Okay, you will have the ability to speak more later in the auction. Okay. Does that make some sense? So the rule of 20, rule of 22, high card points, number of cards in my 2 longest suits, quick tricks. Do we need some review on this? Okay, because it really gets to be a mathy kind of thing. Are there any exceptions?
Always.
Gah!
Always.
And again, I might open hands that Ron might not open. Ron might open hands that Steve wouldn't open. We'll just do this. All right, how many high card points? 13. Oh my gosh. Is this an opening hand? Any arguments? Anybody saying, nope, not above average? Okay. How many high card points? I have 11.
Yeah.
Does this hand meet the rule of 22?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, 21.
21 and a half. Okay, I did 11 high card points. 10 cards in my 2 longest suits. Got an ace and a king. Okay? Which hand is better? Are they close?
Yeah, close. But I'd say the
Is
right
the
one.
Jack 10-9 worth about a queen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm playing no trump,
Yeah, 11.
I like this hand about as much as I like this hand. Because this hand, I'm going to take 3 spade tricks.
Yeah. Right.
And 3, because after I force out the ace and the queen, the 10-9X are going to take tricks. Okay? Ace, Jack, 10-9. Am I going to take 3 tricks in this suit? I'm going to take 3 tricks in this suit. How many tricks am I going to take in these suits? Nah.
Yeah.
Depends on how they break. Okay, so 10s and 9s are worth something.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have a close decision, is this hand worth an opening bid? Looking at 10s and 9s may allow you to go in one direction versus another. Okay, another thing, and I don't want to, y'all just sit back because I don't want to get y'all to get caught up in the lightning strike. many high card points? 10. How many cards in my two longest suits? 10. How many quick tricks? 2. Is this an opening hand? Well, technically, what does that mean?
You could if you.
That's about what that means. This is close. Okay? I can argue for opening this hand, or I can argue for not opening this hand. Personally, I'm not going to open this hand. Wouldn't argue with anyone who did. Okay, the rule of 22 is one that I will follow pretty regularly. I'm not thrilled with the Queen X of diamonds. Give me the queen in one of my long suits, and I'll probably open the hand, although I'd like to have some 10s and 9s in my long suits as well. Okay, does that make some sense? Do not worry, unless you're not opening 13-point hands, that you are doing things differently than other people. Okay? If you have a hand, for instance, one of my students gives me this hand. Ed, I didn't open this. Did I do anything wrong? Nope. Ed, I opened this hand. Did I do anything wrong? Nope. Okay. Good bridge players will open this hand. Good bridge players will not open this hand. Yes, sir.
All right, I am now confused because I thought you were going towards find any excuse to open if you can. Because I thought you were saying if you meet the rule of 22, you need to open it. But now you're going back to saying it's still a judgment call.
It is.
Okay, so it's not, you know, by all means open if you possibly can.
Okay. This
Good
on,
question.
and there are people who are in the open any piece, anything with a reasonable, that comes close to meeting the criteria for opening hands, open those hands. Okay? I play against a fella named Dwayne Jones. Okay, Dwayne Jones. When I first started playing, I had 5 master points. A long time ago. And there was a Pro-Am in Richmond. And Mimi Postelnik said, Ed, we're having a Pro-Am. I would like for you to play. And I'd like for you to play with a fellow named Dwayne Jones. Well, Dwayne Jones, the previous year, had come in the top 100 master point earners in the country. He played professionally. Okay, nice fella. I mean, just very fun to play with, very fun to play against, very thoughtful guy. Okay, now he will open anything with if he has a whiff of a scent of a excuse to open the bidding, he will open the bidding. I'm going to say something really important, and this is something that you should take home. Dwayne Jones plays the hand better than you do. Okay? There are reasons to be conservative in your bidding, and I don't want you to be over-conservative. But if the auction goes 1 spade past 3 no trump, okay, and your partner lays down a bear 13, you are not going to fulfill this contract in all likelihood. Okay? Does that make some sense? A little bit of sense? I'm not going to tell you don't open anything, because there are people who do that. They're very successful. When you can play the cards like Dwayne Jones, you can bid like Dwayne Jones. I may have gotten somewhat more conservative as I have matured as a bridge player. My regular partner left the room. So, probably would grin if he heard me say that. And again, Steve, if you want to open this hand, nothing the matter with opening this hand. You do have a hand that is marginally above average in its ability to take trips. Queen X of diamonds is a minus. Okay?
Right.
Okay, Queen X of diamonds may be worthless. Move the queen over here. okay, and we're betting.
All right, well, let me ask it this way, Ed, in that I had taken it in my own mind that I wasn't gonna worry about the rule of 20 or 22.
Okay?
Never learned it. Okay, I just said, you know,
Smells like an opening hand.
Well-
End of the and seriously,
Yeah.
when I say I use the rule of 22, okay, you will never see me look at a hand and see my lips move. Okay? So when I say I use the rule of 22, I've looked at enough hands to know pretty quickly whether this is an opening hand or not. So that's a fair assessment. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
well, but then and I forgot the term you used, but it was, you know, about the rule of 22, meaning you really shouldn't disregard it, you know.
And that is true. There.
Okay. But then here's a hand with the rule of 22 that we don't open. You know, I'm starting to. I'm not sure what to do.
And again, I'm going to, the rule of 22 is a guideline.
Got it.
The
Okay.
rule of 22 will get you where you need to go 99 times out of 100. Okay? Opening margin and having aces up here is a good thing. Maybe it would have gone better.
He told us that. Remember he said that.
Nope. Yeah, that'll work. Nah, it won't work. I'd open that. How many high card points? I got 11. How many cards in my two longest suits? Got 10. How many quick tricks? Actually, I have 2.5. So, here you go, Steve. This is for you. How many high card points?
11, yeah.
11, really? Okay, 11 high card points. How many cards in my two longest suits? 10. How many quick tricks? I got 2. Is this an opening or 1? Excuse me, 1. I've got 2 kings, and both those kings are a half. So this hand marginally meets the rule of 22. If you open this hand, could good things happen? Absolutely. I don't have rebid problems. If I don't open this hand, could bad things happen? Yeah. My partner opens the bidding, I respond 1 spade, and he passes because he doesn't have an opening hand, or he doesn't have a good opening hand. We haven't gotten to third suit bidding yet. I'm going to give you this very quickly. If you have a hand that doesn't meet the normal requirements for an opening bid, and it's gone pass to you, you may, if you have an appropriate hand, open light with a jack or maybe a queen less than a normal opening bid if you have the right type of hand. If you do that, you and your partner should work out a system that says, hey partner, I opened with less than an opening hand. If only there were a way to tell you that I opened with less than an opening hand. Okay, and that way is, your partner opens a club and you say spade, and he passes, which is his code for, yeah, just kidding, I really didn't have an opening hand. Okay, his doesn't really have an opening hand, plus this could add up to 10 tricks in a major. Yes, sir.
You know, looking at a hand like that one up there on the left, I think it's good to remember that you have a partner too.
This, and yes, but this hand, if I open the hand, I don't have rebid problems. I'm going to open a spade. If my partner salutes spades, that's great. If he doesn't, I'm going to bid hearts. I do not have a problem describing this hand if I open it. If I choose to pass this hand, it is going to be difficult for me to, without risk, tell my partner that I almost have an opening hand with 5 spades and 5 hearts. It's tough for me to do that without risk if my partner doesn't have a fit for one of my suits. Okay?
Yeah.
So when I say that, good things can happen if I open this hand. Okay? Is there a problem opening this hand? Yeah, I don't have beef up here in my long suits. And I actually gave myself a 10 and a 9, which would point me towards opening the bid. We've been talking about this for a while. The rule of 22 is a good thing. Okay? The rule of 22 is an excellent thing to use until you've played a whole lot of bridge hands and figured out what works best for you. Okay? But until further notice, if you calculate the rule of 22 and went by that decision, you're not going to be far off. Okay? So they call it a rule for a reason, and people way brighter than me came up with it.
I think of it like training wheels, right?
Yeah.
As we're learning.
Absolutely. While I'm learning, I'm going to use this rule because this rule tends to guide me in the right direction. It combines high card points, quick tricks, and long suits, and puts all those into a formula. And if it says I have an opening hand, I have an opening hand. Questions, comments? All right. We are going to talk for a very brief moment about scoring. Now you will have noticed, those of you who came to Sunday night, who come to Sunday night, we didn't start with a joke. Yes. Would you like to know why? Because on Saturday mornings, I very rarely am in a joking mood. Saturday morning, other stuff I could be doing, not in a joking mood. However, I'm joking. And this will appeal to people who have played bridge a while back. Little old lady on the beach spies hunky young lifeguard. And yes, I'm not going to say stop me if you've heard this before. I know some of you have heard this before. Little old lady on the beach spies hunky young lifeguard and says, you know, I'd really like to take hunky young lifeguard out for a nice dinner. So walks over to hunky young lifeguard and says, young man, if you can tell me what I have here in my hands, I will take you out to a nice steak dinner. And hunky young lifeguard is engaged to be married, and can't think of a good way to ignore the woman, but certainly doesn't want to go out to a meal with the woman. Says, ma'am, I think you have a 2,000-pound elephant there in your hands. And she looks at her hand and says, well, that's close enough.
Oh gosh.
All right. How many points do you need to fulfill a game contract? And when I'm talking about a game contract, I'm talking about 3 no trump or 4 of a major.
25.
Okay, 26. I heard someone say 26. Because what did I learn? 26. What was taught many, many years ago? 26. Well, I'm going to tell you that 25 is close enough. Okay? If you have 25, and don't do this at the table, just, okay? 25 is usually going to give you a reasonable chance at fulfilling a game contract. Game contracts being 3 no trump or 4 of a major. So what we're looking for between the 2 hands is 25. Okay, if I open the bidding, I'm going to have, just give me 12. I either have 12 or I have a hand whose combination of shape and strength adds up to a 12 count. When I open the bid, and we've talked about majors, we've talked about game contracts. Okay. Ron and I are playing, okay? We're gonna have a conversation when we're bidding. And our conversation is going to go until one or both of us have figured out the answer to these two questions. Do we have enough points for a game contract? 25 or so. 33 for slam with balanced hands. And do we have an 8-card fit in a major? Between the two of us, if we have 8 cards in a suit, then playing a contract in that suit as trump will usually allow us to take at least one more trick than playing the same hand in no trump. I can trump something on one side or the other. Because I'm playing in trump, they can't run this suit that I'm weak in. Okay? 8-card fit, I can usually take at least one more trick in that suit than I can in no trump. Well, if that suit is a minor, then playing in the minor usually will not allow me to outscore what I can make in no trump. Okay, if I can make 2 no trump, score for 2 no trump, and this is going to be, for those of you who don't play duplicate, very brief. Okay, scoring, no trump. $40 for first, then 30. This is per trick. Okay, no trump, 40, then 30 for each subsequent. Okay, majors, 30, minors, 20. Okay. Now, bonuses. The way duplicate scoring works is if my side fulfills a contract, we get the points that we earn for that contract, plus any over tricks, plus a bonus. Okay? Our bonus for a part score contract is 50 points. Okay? Our bonus for a game contract is 300 points or 500 points, depending on whether we're vulnerable or not. Okay? So the score for 2 no trump, making 2, okay, 2 no trump made 2 equals 70, 40 plus 30 plus 50, okay, because I get a bonus. It's not a game contract, but I made a contract, so I get a bonus. I get a 50-point bonus. So the score is 120. Okay. Coincidentally, the score for 1 no trump making 2, can anyone tell me what that is? Same thing. Okay. Talk about the cowardly lion for a moment. If you decide that you do not have enough points to fulfill a game contract, okay, and you know for certain we don't have enough points for game. The only way you really know that is your partner's limited his hand, and you take what he's limited his hand plus what you have and say, yep, we don't have enough for game. Okay? There's no advantage to playing 2 if you could play 1. Okay? There's no advantage to being in 3 spades if your opponents will allow you to play 2 spades. Okay? Doesn't mean you can't bid 3 spades if pushed, but if I know we don't have enough points for a game in spades, going past 2 spades involves a little bit of risk, because I might be able to take 8 tricks, might not be able to take 9. Now you will learn exceptions to that when you get to friendly bridge lesson number 38.
Yeah.
Right now we're on lesson number 2. Actually 1. Yes, ma'am.
So if east-west earns 120, what does north-south? Do they go down anything, or are they just 0, or?
They are asked to leave the room.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you couldn't set a 1 no trump contract. You will no longer, just go, we'll find someone to fill in your seat. If I go plus, your side goes minus.
Minus, yeah.
Okay? So this the score. If
Yeah.
in vulnerability, if I fulfill a contract, vulnerability only comes into play if it's game contract. Okay, vulnerability also comes into play if I fail to fulfill a contract. Okay, if I go down, it's 50 points a trick. Non-vulnerable, 100 points a trick. Vulnerable gets worse if I'm double.
So it would be 120 minus 120?
Yeah, and how many of, we haven't done this on Sunday night, how many of y'all write down your scores on what you play? Okay? It's a good thing to do. The way you do that is you have a plus column and a minus column. And if our side went plus, I'll write 120 in the plus column. If our side went minus, I'll write 120 in the minus column. At the end of the day, it's a pretty good barometer of how you did to compare the number of plus scores versus the number of minus scores you had. Okay? But what gets entered into the computer is north-south got 120 if north-south was playing this hand. And east-west would write down minus 120 if they were defending the hand. Does that make some sense? Yes, ma'am.
Is this a true statement? I use the phrase game contract. That means you're in a contract that will get you a game bonus.
Yes. A game contract says I am in a high enough contract that we will score 100 points if I fulfill it. Sorry. And those contracts are 3 no trump, 4 of a major, 5 of a minor. We haven't talked about 5 of a minor yet. How many tricks do I need to take to fulfill a 5 of a minor contract? 11.
Yeah, but
How many
11
tricks are in the deck?
That is so low.
13.
Listen,
11 sound like a lie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually we don't go out of our way to end up in 5 of minor contracts. If we can fulfill a 3 no trump, if we can make 11 tricks in a minor, we can almost always, not always, waiting for lightning to strike. Not always, but almost always take at least 9 tricks in no trump. And no trump scores. Yes, sir.
What determines whether you're vulnerable?
That's a great question. Because in rubber bridge, you're vulnerable if you have game in hand. Okay? Two tricks to a rubber. So in rubber bridge, playing at your kitchen table, if you have game in hand, you're vulnerable, which is an enhanced sense of danger. Okay? In duplicate bridge, the boards that you play will be on a board. Any Lost in Space fans out there? Danger, Will Robinson? Okay, what's the universal color of danger? Maybe not a universal color, but okay, red. Red is danger. So on a board, the board will tell you who is vulnerable and who isn't. If everyone's green or everyone's white, then neither side's vulnerable. Everyone's red, then everyone's vulnerable, and if there's, on this hand, north-south is not vulnerable, and east-west is vulnerable. When you hear people talk about hands, you will hear them occasionally say things like red on red, or white on white, or red on white, okay, to determine who's vulnerable versus who isn't. Good question. Other questions? All right. Well, we haven't gotten there yet. We are now ready to make our first opening bid. I have this hand. Did I get where I wanted to go with this? I think I did. I'm going to raise it. 100 points for a vulnerable game, or 100 points for a game contract. 3 no, 4 of a major, 5 of a minor. So, who knows the name of the bidding system that I'm teaching?
5 major standard?
Okay, it's called American Standard. Or Standard American. Sorry, one of those is a toilet. I think of
Standard American.
Standard American's a toilet. No, the other one. American Standard's a toilet. Standard American is a bidding system. Okay? Standard American with 5 card majors. Okay? And again, once you figure out that this hand is enough above average in its ability to take tricks, how to open the hand is pretty much not set in stone, but there's very little variability. There's only 3 ways to open a hand, a forward-going hand, unless you have a massive hand. Okay, massive hand, we open 2 clubs. Okay, hands that do not meet the requirements for an opening bid, I got a fistful of cards in this suit and I want to make some noise, those are preempts. I'll open those 2 diamonds in a suit bid, 2 diamonds or higher. Okay, but I have an above average hand. Okay. You got your 1 major, you got your 1 no or 2 no. Okay. Standard American with 5 card majors. Okay. Is this an opening hand? First thing, is this hand worthy of an opening bid? If the answer is yes, do I have a 5 card major or can I open no trump? If you can do either one of those, do one of those. Okay. If you can't, you open in your longest minor. Okay. That is the same tree or the same questions. I don't actually ask them to myself anymore. Smells like a 1 diamond opener. I mean, I'm not counting the rule of 22, and so yep, it's a 1 diamond opener. Anybody here ever misopen a hand? Sure. Oh my gosh! I had a heart in with my diamonds, or I had a diamond in with my hearts, or my personal favorite, I had this hand.
Got 5 suits.
I know.
Well, you know how sometimes you have a
You
card out of
do.
place.
Card out of place.
That's what he said.
That smells good.
I had one, it's up there. They're taking the money.
Yeah, I had a 6 card heart suit.
Well, we'll pay.
And I actually had my hands sorted like this. And I opened this hand 1 club. I don't remember who my partner was. I remember apologizing profusely after this. Oops. Yeah. Does stuff like that happen?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it good playing with a partner with excellent sense of humor?
Yes.
Yes. What was that? What are you doing? You should just leave now. Just go away. Director, can you get me a new partner? Stuff like that happens. Yeah, and after I opened 1 club, I could never, and then I figured it out. And I'm pretty sure that all the color drained out of my face. But there's no way to make up for that, because I've opened 1 club. And when I open 1 club, I'm saying, partner, I couldn't open a major, I couldn't open no trump. Yes, sir.
My favorite error for doing that is to misfile a red card, and, like a diamond in with the hearts, or
Sorry?
vice versa, or a black card in the wrong place, and thinking that I either have 4 or a 5 in the suit, or 3 when I should have 4.
Yeah.
We all do
It's-
that.
Oh, yeah. When I was younger.
Go! Stuff like that happens.
That was
It's a
so
game.
hard.
Anybody here ever plan on doing this for a living?
This
Am I
was-
teaching
I
you?
didn't realize
Okay.
that.
Yes.
After lesson 30.
After lesson 38, yes.
I can't help but wonder, why didn't they make each of the types of cards in a different color?
Probably because, well, I don't know. It probably is more expensive, and really, playing cards likely haven't changed much for 150 years. I mean, you watch movies, you say, oh, okay, a Western, and if the Western's in color, you got your black and you got your red. I do not know the answer to that question.
It's an eye doctor conspiracy.
And you're gonna love this.
Yeah,
Any
Thanks.
members of the ACBL here? Okay, so some of y'all have joined the ACBL and gotten the magazine. Do you read the letters in the magazine?
Yes.
Okay, at least once a year there will be one tossed out saying, you know, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. It would be good if they would make all the suits a different color. Okay, so instead of black, red, you got your black, you got your red, you got your green, and you got your purple, or whatever they suggest. Because that way you wouldn't missort your hand. Does anybody think that no one would ever missort their hand? It would reduce the chances, but.
No.
All right. Questions, comments? All right, so opening a major. I got 5 of them. Every single time? Every single time.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, when we get to lesson 17, there may be a time, if you're in a third seat, where you may
Oh, no, that was
open one spade or one of a major with a very beefy suit, as opposed to opening one club with a less robust suit. Okay? But by and large, every single time I open a major, got 5 of them. 5 or more. One no, 15 to 17. 2 no,
Whenever you need to.
No, I don't have to.
Well,
20 or 21.
One knows balance, right?
Yep, these are both balanced. Okay, I've walked behind people on Sunday evening and I've seen them opening no trump with a singleton. Is it a good thing to tell your partner you have 15 to 17 high card points? That is a great message to convey to your partner. Because then he gets to do this little trick we like to call math. Okay? We're looking for 25. You told me 15 to 17. So I can tell pretty much we either belong in game, we don't belong in game, or we might belong in game. And if you tell me your points within a 2-point range, that decision gets a lot easier for me. Okay. 2 no trump, same thing, balance. Definition of balance is a hand with no voids, no singletons, and to be strictly balanced, you have not more than 1 doubleton. Okay, there's only 3 hand shapes which satisfy those criteria. You got your 5, 3, 3, 2. You got your 4, 3, 3, 2. And you got your 4x3s. Okay, which of these hand shapes do we like the least? 4x3. Okay, because you have this hand shape. They don't play well on offense. You don't have any long suits to set up for no trump. You don't have anything that you can trump in a suit contract. If the opponents are playing the hand, their suits are probably breaking well for them. Okay, so 4x3s we just don't like. Okay, doesn't mean that, well, the only 12-point hand I'm not going to open is a 4x3. Okay, if I can count to 12 high card points, unless it's a 4x3, I'm going to tend to open it, even if it's got queens and jacks. Because 12 is enough above average, I want to convey that to my partner. Questions, comments? All right, well, if I can't open one of a major, I can't open no trump, all that's left is opening a minor.
yeah.
And I open my longest one.
Ed, can I ask you something? If I have 16-point balanced hand, and I have in spade high card, so which is best way to open no trump or?
She's saying, that she has 16 high card points.
All right, so I have this hand. And actually, this was going up on the board before you asked the
The
question.
spade.
Okay? I have this hand. Is this hand worthy of an opening bid? Yes.
Yes.
Could I open this hand one spade?
Yes.
Yep. Could I open this hand one nut trump?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Huh.
yes, you could.
Which one?
Yeah,
Which
that's
way?
Which way do I personally do it? I open this hand a nut trump.
Yes,
A no
yes,
trump.
you could, a no
Okay.
trump.
And let me make the hand, I'm gonna make the hand
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
There are two seconds, aren't there?
And there are
There's two.
different opinions on this. Does that surprise anybody? Okay?
I thought it would be the other way around.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
It's because you want to show you've got so many points.
What you're suited.
Oh, wait a minute.
We have to
Oh, I
make less
see.
tricks.
well,
I see.
you know,
3 tricks, not 4.
anybody here in the Boy Scouts?
Well, I don't.
Back in the day,
Two
any Boy
dollars
Scouts in the room?
in there.
Okay, what's the motto?
I think he's a
Be prepared!
Do you do two doubles
So,
with no trump?
I open this
did
hand
that
one heart.
yesterday and I didn't.
I don't know. I want to see.
And
what
my
he
partner
has.
says, one spade.
I guess it depends on what I have in the double tons. If I had like 2 aces, I might. But I'm not sure. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, now he's good.
Well, I can always say one no.
Well, we haven't actually talked about rebids yet, but I'm pretty well versed in what rebids look like. And there isn't a good one to describe this hand.
No.
This will be next week's lesson, but one no trump here would show 12 to 14 points. Two no trump would show 18 to 19 points. Two hearts would show a 6-card heart suit. Two clubs or two diamonds would show a at least 4-card suit. Two spades would promise at least 3 and usually 4. And I don't have any of those.
So if you had a rebid today instead of open.
So,
Yeah.
have I shared Kinlaw's Law with you yet?
No.
Kinlaw's Law, it's, I'm going to name it after myself. Kinlaw's Law is very simple. If there's a bid that you do not want to hear from your partner, that's the one you're going to hear. And I say that I'm not prepared for a one spade bid. I'm really no better after a no trump response. Partner has 6 to 10 points. If he has 10, I want to be in game. If he has 6, I don't. And whichever way I go could be right or wrong. So this is a hand I'm going to open a no trump. Every day of the week. Not going to think twice about it. If we get to the wrong spot, has anybody here ever played no trump with a 5-3 fit in a major? Yeah. Does it always work?
No.
No. Do you get to play another hand after?
Yeah.
Usually.
Have your partner didn't have your partner yet.
And, I'm sorry, Mr. Kinlaw. You opened a no trump. You had a 5-card major. Not going to let you play anymore. Most of y'all have been playing on Sunday nights. Some of you haven't, but Sunday night, have any of y'all done really incredibly bad things on a Sunday night?
Oh, yes.
Have you fractured a minor bridge law? God.
Yeah.
Is he?
And they let you come back. Hey,
Teaches a
it's a
lesson.
game, and it's a game that we're trying to learn. Okay? Now, this is just one. I do not like putting myself in a spot where I cannot describe my hand. Okay? I'm going to go with opening the no trump on this hand is going to get me to a better spot than whatever happens after I open one heart, unless my partner says 2 hearts or 3 hearts. If my partner says 2 hearts, I'm happy. I'm glad I opened this hand 1 heart. If he says anything else, I would have rather opened a no trump. Does that make some sense? Yes, ma'am. Nope. Doesn't exist. Now, that being said, I believe it's Edgar Kaplan. It's either Edgar Kaplan or Eddie Cantor. Sorry.
Eddie Cantor.
I forget which one it is. But he wrote, there are hands that I would open one no trump that have a 5-card major. I just haven't seen one for 50 years. Okay? So he always opens one of a major with a 15 to 17. It works for him. Okay? Again, it's what makes this a fun game. There's a reason that they don't have pinochle classes. Okay?
Right.
Bidding, there's just lots, and they may. Sorry if I've offended the pinochle gods.
Would you say it's better to be consistent? Like, pick one and usually stick with that unless an exception comes up?
Actually, what I will do, I'm kind of like the wind.
Oh, my land.
I play with a number of different partners who have a number of different styles. And I will bend my
Adjust to that.
game to their style.
But it's because they're consistent that you can do that.
They're consistent.
That's
I have a
good.
partner who
Uh-huh.
will open with a preempt
It is.
that without high cards in his suit.
It is.
You know that.
And I know that already.
No.
And I will
But he
do,
usually does that, so you know.
Sweetest thing.
well,
And so good.
any idiot.
Ed,
No, hold on.
Maybe he's on the any
do you ever open a no trump with 2 doubletons?
I do.
Do you?
And I'm
And
not
I
going to tell you,
didn't.
and we are going to, this will lend itself to next week's lesson, but yes, just like I will open one no trump with a 5-card major because I'm going to be stuck for a rebid, I will open a 1 no trump with a hand with 2 doubletons
How about
if I will be stuck for a rebid. And I said I'm not going to show you this.
Well, he's talking about, he's so smart, he can figure out he's gonna get stuck, with a rebid.
Right.
I'm not sure that I'm always able to see that.
All right,
He's got those two.
your opening bid.
Doubletons down there.
How many high card points? 16.
16.
Now, bearing in mind what Kinlaw's law is, the auction will, if you open this hand 1 diamond, the auction will go thusly. 1 diamond, pass, 1 spade, pass. Big old question mark.
Yeah.
Over to you.
4 and 2 is only 6.
Okay. Well, I have a 16 count, and by definition, those are difficult to bid because they're tweeners.
Mm-hmm.
They're at the top of a minimum. They're at the bottom of invitational.
Right.
Well, let's go through our possibilities. If I rebid a no trump, that's showing 12 to 14. Plus, I have those 2 pesky doubletons anyway.
You can't rebid. a no
Why
trump
couldn't you
because
rebid the
bid a diamond.
2 diamonds?
Well, I could rebid 2 diamonds.
Yeah.
1 diamond, 1 heart, 2 diamonds would show a minimum hand, which,
Oh, okay.
I'm at the cusp of minimum. Plus, I almost always have a 6-card suit. Okay, so that I could. There's anything I could bid, but nothing that really gets the texture of this hand over after diamond pass spade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I would open this hand a no trump every day of the week. Boy, I hope this works.
I know he does.
How bad can this be? And we have tools to find our 8-card major suit fits if we have an 8-card major suit fit. Does that make some sense? Yes, sir.
Even if you take your king of clubs and move it over to spades and you got XX under the clubs?
Yes!
Okay.
Because again,
Even if you
Full
have
stop.
nothing under the
Oh,
clubs?
yeah, wait a minute.
Look at this.
Oh, that's nothing.
He's opening a no trump with that.
same rebid problem.
Uh-huh.